This is the Top Crypto Podcast,
Episode 5. This is the Top Crypto Podcast, where cryptocurrency founders share with our users the path that they've taken to get to where they are today.
Each episode features in-depth project details, personal interactions with a core team member, behind-the-scenes info, and sometimes even blockbuster announcements.
Our show aims to shed light on lesser-known cryptocurrency projects to provide our listeners the need-to-know information about buying their tokens.
I'm Jerry.
And I'm Tyler, and here's today's episode.
It looked like you were having problems with
Here, this
right
is. I'll get it.
All right.
Ready? 3.
Mine's gonna suck too, so
It's okay. That's all right. 3, 2. Hey everybody, welcome to the Top Crypto Podcast. This is your host Tyler Larson, here with my co-host Jerry Stark here. We wanted to get an episode out to our listeners this week that's a little bit different than every other week in which we've released. We don't actually have someone here that we're interviewing this week, but we wanted to come to you guys with a spotlight project and a market recap instead. So the spotlight for this week is actually one of our own personal blockchain favorites, the project Nebulas. Nebulas is actually an incentive-based, self-evolving blockchain 3.0 project that touts a decentralized platform which provides a search framework for all other blockchains. Founded in 2017, the Singapore-based blockchain project Nebulas highlights a search engine and scalable smart contracts that improve upon what's currently provided by public chains such as Ethereum. Many in the crypto community are referring to Nebulas as quote-unquote the new Google. While the two are similar in a sense, they hold very different use cases. Google is oftentimes used by day-to-day people every single day for basic internet information searches, while Nebulas will actually integrate their blockchain search engine in order to index and rank its own supported dApps, smart contracts, and data, as well as other external blockchains as well. There's a number of reasons as to why we love NAS. One of them is we've seen great returns since their ICO, starting at about $2. But Nebulas seems to be one of the strongest teams in the blockchain industry. As well as the Nebulas project, they also address 3 major issues that currently exist within the blockchain technology space. A clear lack of universal measure of value. That's very, very important, which should be measured. It should be measuring the value of users, smart contracts, and dApps. The second is the inability for system upgrades. A lot of the times you see Bitcoin forking, hard forking and soft forking. With scalable systems such as these that are going to be incorporated into Nebulas, you're no longer going to need to experience those hard and soft forks. And number 3 is the lack of a healthy ecosystem. Supporting a greater user experience is pretty much vital to the success of a blockchain, and Nebulas is actually going to be able to provide that. Jerry, you want to talk a little bit about the team and some other reasons as to why you like them?
yeah. So for the team, if you look at their 3 co-founders, they all originate from Neo, which at the time was called AntShares. And what we like about this is that we can see that the 3 co-founders are coming from a successful project. And what we see in the industry is that there's a lot of good ideas, but it doesn't seem like the teams are able to accomplish what they want because they don't have the experience. And the people on the Nebulas team, they have work experience for Alibaba, Google, and companies like Dolphin Browser, who they also have a partnership with. And then another one is Microsoft and Ganji.com, which is one of the largest Chinese marketplaces. So that's what I got for the team. As you can see, they've been successful before, and we think they'll be successful again. So they also have developer incentive protocol, which is very different from what other projects are doing. Right now, Nebulas is running a program called Nebulous Incentive Protocol, which is very similar to what they will be putting out on their blockchain called Developer Incentive Protocol. Basically, Nebulous Incentive Protocol is $5 million that they have set aside to reward developers for making dApps on their blockchain.
I mean, I think that's super important. That you don't see that with every public blockchain either, and being able to be, rewarded as a developer, I think is something that would incentivize me to, develop on your chain, right? I mean,
Yeah, for sure, because
you're getting
I
paid to
mean,
just use their chain.
yeah, why wouldn't you want to get paid for your hard work and you can go to a blockchain platform in Nebulous and actually get rewarded for what you're doing.
Right.
And going off of that, they will have Nebulous Rank, which will rank those dApps inside their Nano app, their NOS Nano app, and your app will be featured in as like a popular dApp or a good dApp, so more people will want to use that. So also, when you compare Nebulous and Ethereum, on June 23rd, which was this past week, Nebulous surpassed Ethereum in transactions, and that is Nebulous had 697,000 transactions in one day, and Ethereum only had 676,000 transactions. And for a project that's kind of relatively unknown,
Sure.
this is huge.
Yeah, I mean, you also have to look at how long Ethereum has been around versus Nebulous, who was founded in 2017, the back end of 2017. So that's impressive.
Yeah, and as for dApps, Nebulous currently has 4,144 dApps as of
Shit.
June 23rd.
I also
And
now see
that
the
is,
I see the reason why they have a search engine now for over 4,000.
yeah.
It'd be a little difficult to find
So
the dApp that you want.
the 4,000 dApps is twice the amount of Ethereum's dApps.
Wow.
And everyone looks at Ethereum as smart contracts and build your dApps on Ethereum, but it looks like the Nebulous Incentive Protocol has worked because look at all these developers coming over and developing on top of Nebulous.
Definitely.
Um, and then I think another comparison with Ethereum that I'd like to make is that so Ethereum might have over 2,000 dApps, but there's no central location for someone to be able to, I don't know, scroll through the dApps and just look for stuff that they might find to be cool and they want to use.
Sure.
You have to have the dApp, maybe you find it online or something like that, and then you have to go to the web page or whatever they use to run the dApp, and so it's kind of hard
Yeah, I mean, it
to get
basically,
recognition on the Ethereum network.
to me, it feels like all of the projects that are created on the Ethereum network are, in essence, all independent, completely separate projects. When you look at Nebulous and the community of developers that they're creating, the payout that they're actually doing to develop on their blockchain, it makes it almost feel as if all of these dApps are part of a community and they're rewarding and promoting, you know, in and of each other so they can all succeed. And I think that that's absolutely something that if you were to create some type of ecosystem behind a public chain like that, Nebulous is doing it the right way. I mean, they're setting up the framework to succeed in the long term.
Yeah, so it looks like what Nebulous is aiming to do is basically be that blockchain over top of everything, and then have the dApps operate underneath. So it's basically a house for dApps. That's the way I look at it.
Yeah.
And so if you go into their NAS Nano app, which is available on the Apple and Android store, it works as a wallet, which you can set up on there, and it'll give you all your private keys and whatnot. And the one thing I liked about it was that there's a dApps tab that you can click on, and it'll show you like the top 10 most popular dApps that week. So it looks a lot like the App Store for iTunes. And at least for me, that's a lot easier to navigate than most of these, say, these Chromebook or Chrome extensions.
Yeah.
And there's actual usefulness for this dApp that's outside of just sending and receiving the currency.
Right.
And your wallet can be linked to these this app, and you can do transactions inside of it. So you can use the dApps, and your wallet's already linked to it. What else do I like about it? As for going back to developers, smart contracts can be written in JavaScript. So unlike Ethereum, where developers have to learn a whole new language, so people that have been developing for years can come onto the Nebulas blockchain and basically just start developing dApps just like they may have been doing before in the an app store or something.
Sure. Plus they're getting paid.
Yeah, this is true. If you're more of a technical person, you can go on their website, which is nebulas.io.
They're Webulous.
Yeah. And they have a 60-page white paper that outlines technicals, and this is way bigger than most projects on the market today. They basically spell it out for you. Although I don't know that language. Yeah. It looks cool if I did know the language.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then another thing, as for their roadmap, they've hit every milestone on their roadmap so far, and it's always been a day or two early. It's not one of those projects that maybe like a project that was added to Pornhub a little while back, that they missed their deadlines, and they're not all about hype. So that's not a worry as a holder of the Nebulas currency.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, although we haven't really been fortunate enough to have a member of their Nebulas team on the show itself, we really wanted to kind of showcase this project because we really do believe in it. They really do sit as a very strong contender to be one of the first established and dominant blockchain 3.0 projects. Along with their long-term roadmap that Jerry just touched on, the team has really demonstrated their ability to deliver according to the plan. They set up a plan and they deliver on time every single time. They also have extremely massive innovations coming up all the way through the late 2019s. It really makes Nebulas one of our absolute favorites in terms of long-term holds. So we just wanted to highlight Nebulas in this week's spotlight here because we didn't actually have a guest come on our show this week, but I would highly consider looking into this project, especially considering that they're now on Binance as well. Getting into a kind of a shift here, we just wanted to touch very lightly on market update. We're not here to give you technical analysis. We're not here to provide insights into what you should buy, when you should buy, how you should buy. But we wanted to give you a little bit of a... Yeah, we're not going to tell you exactly when to bottom because nobody knows that and they're going to bullshit you if they do. But we want to provide you a little bit of a market update in case you haven't been following. Some people I know, their wallets are so bloody that they just don't log into the Binance app anymore to check what the prices are at. So we wanted to just touch on it real quick here. Binance actually, as of right now, is currently sitting at $6,350 after seeing its price come back down from $6,545. The market decided to take a really big bounce last night. It double bottomed really quickly at $5,800 area and saw a 10% increase very, very fast. We saw a slight increase in the buying volume last night as well as today as well. So that's really what you need for a solid bounce to take place in the market. We're not actually going to speculate too much in regards to the price points or where and when it bounces, or anything, again, really regarding the TA, as it's been shown in the past few months that you could throw TA right out the window in most instances. So as for now, we're just highlighting things as we see them. Although we're very optimistic for a bounce to take place at some point this year, as there's just way too much positive news being released. I mean, there's so many positive things happening for this bear run to continue. It seems like it's a little overdue for a bull run to kind of take into place here. You look at some of these positive things, such as Intel actually partnering with Enigma. Enigma is another one of our favorites, and maybe if I can convince Jerry, we can do another spotlight on Enigma. But Intel partnering with them is absolutely massive. And you look at U.S. regulatory bodies embracing cryptocurrency's involvement. There's so many more topics that we could touch on as well, but there's seriously some massive shifts in the mindset and the understanding behind cryptocurrency, that the belief that we're going to continue going down below the cost to actually mine a Bitcoin is just something that I don't truly believe would happen. There's a lot of people who've been burned as well so far in 2018. We all thought 2018 was going to be the year of cryptocurrency, right? It has been the year of blockchain. We've seen over 1,600 blockchain projects come out on CoinMarketCap this year. It really has been the year for blockchain, but it hasn't been the year.
IBM.
Yeah, I mean, but it hasn't.
Commercials and everything.
Right, but it hasn't been the year for cryptocurrencies yet. You see a lot of average Joes, everyday traders who don't fully understand and grasp the market. They bought in and they sold at massive losses. They buy in, they learn what an altcoin is, and they buy into shit coins that they now realize are not going to rebound. So they sell at a big loss. Yeah, we've all done it before you learn, but that's how you learn.
Currently still doing it.
That's one of the toughest ways, but it's one of the best ways that you can learn. You sell at a loss, and then you're basically sitting with Bitcoin or Tether or TrueCoin, whatever it is, and you sit there and you wait for this market to rebound. But these people, they buy and sell at massive losses. I truly believe that they want to get back in, and because they see just how revolutionary this blockchain space actually is. But I don't think that, and I think Jerry agrees with me, I don't think that they're going to until a confirmed floor has been actually found. We see them kind of dancing around this area, but we haven't really broken this bearish trend yet. And,
I don't know if they're more so looking for a floor. I think your average investor is probably in his mid-20s or something like that, and he probably invested in Bitcoin when it was around $15,000 to $17,000, and the reason he invested was because he talked to all his buddies, and all his buddies said, "Dude, what are you doing? Like, if you have $1,000, put it in, because then it's going to be $10,000 in 2 months. Like, this isn't going down."
Mm-hmm.
And now that it has gone down, a lot of people got freaked out and said, "Oh, this is like, I don't even understand it. I don't know what I was thinking."
Sure.
But those same people, I can guarantee it, will get back in if it hits $15,000 or
Sure.
$17,000. They'll do the same thing.
Realistically,
And they probably won't learn anything from it.
Yeah.
So I think the people that will learn something from it are the people that did buy in at 15,000, but they're
Sure.
still holding, doing research and waiting for them to come back up because they're going to be prepared for it.
Right. Yeah. So I mean, you could see this kind of, you could already see it taking place, but we also look at the value, the cost that it actually takes to mine one Bitcoin, and we're kind of nearing that. I think globally it's right around $4,500. So if we go down any further, I really realistically do see a bounce happening. But again, not too much speculation going to happen there. Regarding the people on the sidelines, just kind of confirm this to you guys if you don't fully believe this. Take a look at KeyCoin, KEY coin on Binance. It actually pumped the past 3 days. It pumped 569%. I'll let that sit in there. Just leave that figure there. 569% it pumped in 3 days. It went from 116 Satoshis touching 777 sats. Now I think it's right around 500. I don't have it pulled up in front of me here. But those kind of pumps with over 60, and this isn't a pump that was maybe 1,000 Bitcoin. It's not on IDEX where maybe one whale just bought a shit ton of the coin. and it made the price skyrocket. He just cleared the slate. We're looking at 67,000 Bitcoin trading volume the past 24 hours. That's over $450 million in trading volume the past 24 hours on this coin. People see green and they buy in, and they're going to do the same exact thing when Bitcoin rebounds. So this is our little market update here. We did see a nice 10% bounce, and I think that hopefully we can continue that trend throughout the weekend here, although trading volume throughout the weekends tend to be a little bit lower, so we might correct a bit here. But I hope you guys enjoyed this episode of the Top Crypto Podcast, and stay tuned next week. Hopefully we'll have a new guest on our show next week. Thanks again, guys.
If you liked today's episode, please make sure you give us a follow, a like, or subscribe to our iTunes podcast channel. On next week's episode, we're going to be bringing on a project that everybody in the crypto space is sure to know. So please make sure that you tune into our channel to learn a little bit more about them next week. Thanks, guys.